Welcome back to today's economic news. I'm John, your host, and today we're diving into a story that frankly should have everyone on edge. Margarita Island, once a tropical paradise nestled off the coast of Venezuela, has transformed into a strategic outpost for Hezbollah, thanks to the policies of their leadership. Now, wait a minute, you might be asking, why should this matter to you? Well, if you're concerned about international security, terrorist activities, and our own national interests, this situation is a ticking time bomb that could have immense ramifications worldwide. So buckle up as we explore how we got to this point and what it means moving forward. Before we delve into today's situation, let's rewind a bit to understand how Margarita Island turned from a tourist haven into what some are calling a terror island. Back in the early 2000s, under the charismatic yet controversial leadership of Hugo Chavez, Venezuela deliberately fortified its alliances with Iran and extremist groups like Hezbollah. Chavez's administration famously held an anti-American stance, which led him to roll out the red carpet for foreign terrorist organizations seeking safe haven. By doing so, Margarita Island became a fertile ground for paramilitary training sites. Fast forward to the rise of Nicolas Maduro in 2013, far from reneging on these dangerous affiliations, Maduro doubled down, allowing Hezbollah's operations to not only persist but to flourish. Supported by state mechanisms, this growth has seen the intertwining of legitimate businesses with dark operations involving drug trafficking. Now, the evidence is as clear as day. Let's discuss some hard numbers. The reduction in flights to Margarita Island, down by a staggering 50%, signals a collapse not just in tourism, but in legitimate commerce as well. Think of it this way. The lifeline of the island's economy has been cut in half, casting a shadow over its legitimate enterprises. Meanwhile, between 2010 and 2019, Venezuelan authorities issued 10,400 passports to individuals from Lebanon, Syria, and Iran. Imagine if every other person you met on a small island hailed from a place embroiled in complex geopolitical issues. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a strategy. And what do these numbers translate to? A situation where state resources are directed to facilitate potentially harmful networks, rather than addressing the island's crumbling tourism economy and its people's needs. And then we have quotes from our leaders, like the one stating, "The single most serious threat to the United States from the Western Hemisphere is from transnational terrorist criminal groups primarily focused on narco-trafficking." You have to ask yourself, do they think we're just going to nod and ignore the obvious? When a U.S. official points out that Margarita Island is really the center of gravity for their activities, it should send alarm bells ringing, not just in Washington, but in every household, aware of how closely intertwined global security is with local stability. But this isn't just about drug smuggling or even geopolitical chess games. If we peel back the layers, it speaks to a larger narrative of governmental failure, a narrative that libertarians often highlight. Here's the core. The infiltration of Hezbollah reflects state incompetence, showcasing how resources are manipulated for illicit trades, worsening inflation, and eroding the purchasing power of citizens. Citizens who, instead of enjoying the fruits of an honest day's work, find their lives increasingly dominated by a shadow economy that thrives on chaos and fear. Government incompetence, epitomized by Maduro, has allowed not just corruption, but terror to find a welcoming home, amplifying suffering among those already besieged. Let's not forget the liberty stolen from Venezuelans. You see, when a government prioritizes alliances with terrorist groups over its own people's welfare and national sovereignty, it's a direct attack on personal freedom. It's hard to talk about freedom when surrounded by a drug cartel on one side and a terrorist group on the other, operating with implicit government approval. Such conditions are anathema to the core values of any society striving for peace and prosperity. So here we stand at a crossroads. The continuing entrenchment of groups like Hezbollah on Margarita Island is not just a local Venezuelan issue, it's a crisis with global implications that demand our attention and action. This isn't just about political posturing or international diplomacy, but about the very future of security principles we hold dear. If you're tired of paying for their mistakes with more than just dollars, but with security and liberty, take a stand. Hit subscribe and join us as we navigate these complex and critical economic stories that shape our world. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and as always, stay informed and engaged. Signing off, I'm John. Until next time.